Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do first impressions on two knives I have with me today. I just got back from a lunch. I met up with a few local knife dudes. Shout out to Corey, Stafford's EDC. Shout out to Lewis, Addicted to Knives. And shout out to Ed. Ed is a dude who won a giveaway of mine, actually, on Lefty Live last week. And we were chatting via email. Turns out he's kind of local, and he met up with us as well. So anyway, the knives I have here are the Sharp by Design Tempest or Mini Tempest right here, made by Riot. This one is the plain titanium with the blue dark matter fat carbon, and this is the drop point configuration with the hand rubbed blade. So I do have two of these. The other one is black tie, gold dark matter, and drop point. That one is on its way to Brian Nadeau. Brian Nadeau is the guy behind Sharp by Design. And that one just has a little bit of an issue. It's not seating into the nub correctly. So he's going to fix that. No big deal. And then the other one is the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. So we got two mini knives. One is not so mini. The other one here is pretty mini. This is the Mini Beluga in the red GMascus with the coated blade. This is 14C28N right here. This was loaned into the channel by Backpack B. I own the Mini Tempest. So two very different knives. One's $425. One is about $45. So 10%, right? This one's 10% of this one. Both are equally fucking awesome. Both have really gotten me excited, right? One is actually more fidgety than the other, and it's kind of weird. But I still love them both equally, and I just kind of want to do a first impressions. I don't know why. I didn't do an unboxing of this one. I ended up scrapping that unboxing because of there was just a reason I did it. I'm not going to get into it. Had nothing to do with this knife or anything like that. And this one I've done an unboxing, sort of first impressions, like it was a couple hours in. And this will be like a full first impressions. I'll do a full review once I get the other one back and I have them both. That'll give me enough time to really decide on the full review, even though it's going to be really positive. So let's talk about the Mini Beluga first. How about that? Petrified Fish, like I said, you have a drop point blade here, and it's awesome, guys. I mean, seriously, my initial thoughts were I wanted to hate this knife. The full size, which when I do the full review, I'll show you the full size as well. I have reviewed that one. I think it was like a rapid review. And I hated it. It was just really big, bulky, blocky, heavy, uncomfortable. Nothing about it really was great other than it dropped shut, right? The detent wasn't great on the one I reviewed. This Mini Beluga, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It is super fun. It is super comfortable in hand. It's pretty lightweight. It's great in pocket. It doesn't have like a bulky, sort of blocky feel to it. It's very interesting to see the difference. And I'm going to be honest, guys. This is my favorite budget knife I've handled so far this year. Which, you know, I haven't handled a million of them, but I've handled a few. And I absolutely love this knife. So you have this front flipper right here and a fuller, so you can front flip it like that. I do wish the front flipper tab was larger, but I can get it pretty good. It's hard for me to do the roll around like this because of that tiny front flipper. I can do it a little better right-handed, I think. Yeah, it's just not fun. Like some knives I can really just roll them, and it's fun. This one, not so much. The fuller is awesome. Sorry, the fuller is awesome. You can get in there with all your fingers. I think I did it in a video where I could do the ring finger. I could even do the pinky. Obviously, you can use your thumb. Oh, you can use your thumb. You can use your thumb. I don't really do that very often. There's the thumb. And then the middle finger, it has this cutout for right here for access to the lock bar on both sides. And it just gives it a really good spot to catch that fuller. And then I've been doing it like left-handed, pushing my index finger in here. I've been doing the Brandon Ziegler close, and that has been very fun. It's a very fidgety knife. I played with this on the couch for like 2 nights straight. It did not annoy my wife, which was nice. It's not uberly loud, but it has good thwacks and clacks. The drop action after putting some oil in there, I mean, it's really nice to the nail. Couple of smooth shakes, and she's down. It's a really good one, guys. The ergos, very comfortable in hand. It just fits the hand really well, being this smaller size. Everything is shrunk down. It's not just shorter, it's thinner, right? It's still got that sort of squared off feeling, but now that it's this size, it just fits your hand much better. My hand, sorry, much better. You can kind of choke up like this. It's okay. But yeah, I'm really loving this knife. I kind of want one. I'm kind of upset that I missed out on them. White Mountain Knives was sold out by the time I got there, and I wasn't interested then, but then I got it in, and now I'm like, eesh. I mean, 45 bucks or whatever these cost, even if it's in the 50s, it's excellent. There's no lock stick. It's great on the bearings. Like, detent's perfect. Like, it's just a good knife. So really digging the Beluga. Centering is a little bit off, I think, to that clip side there, which I think is the show side because I reversed it. But that's fine. There's no play. There's no lock rock. There's none of that stuff. It's just very well built for the price. I don't know who makes Petrified Fish knives. I don't know if they make their own. I haven't researched them enough to figure that out. So one thing I didn't like is when I reversed the clip, the one clip screw, or the screw on this side, it went really deep into that cutout. You see the screw hole there? That screw is really deep, and the other one sits flush. So do these. I don't know why that one just goes really deep in there. I tried moving them around. Nothing really seemed to help that. Then we have the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest. I've raved about this knife already. I really, really dig this knife. It's just a gorgeous knife. That pretty much is like the one, that's like the factor, the X factor to this knife is the looks, I think. It's just absolutely stunning with the fat carbon, the different versions of it, the black with the gold, this with the blue. And then you have the action, just really smooth, great detent on the front flipper. It has his detent nub design. Then you can catch that fuller. I've noticed the Bowie is a little bit harder to flick. It is possible. If you have one, I recommend you try to flick down here on the Bowie. On the drop point, you kind of get it anywhere. It has a little more access. And I think it's mostly, I don't think it has more access to the fuller. I think it's because you have more blade on top of it that you just have more area to catch your finger on. We were talking about that at lunch, and Corey pointed that out. That was a good point. This one has the ever so slightest lock stick. I wouldn't even call it stick. It's just a little like, I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just there. It's not a click. It's not anything. It's just not absolutely perfect on the lock stick front, so to speak. But again, not an issue at all. The jimping on it is so good for both up here and for the front flick. You can do the thumb. You can also do the roll around index finger sort of thing. I can do that with both hands. I seem to be better at that right-handed for some reason, but I can do it both ways. And then you have the reverse flick for both left and right. You cannot really do a thumb flick, but you can do a slow roll. And then you have this absolutely gorgeous blade, just hand-rubbed satin, which I do kind of wish it was a belt satin, but I don't know, it's growing on me. It's a good blade, good edge, M390. It'll do the job. It's not going to do a lot of cutting just because of, you know, how expensive and pretty it is, but overall, it's a fantastic knife. Oh, I forgot to mention the ergos. They literally, it melts in your hand. It's one of those extension of your hand knives, you know what I mean? I haven't taken either of my Mini Tempests apart, and I do think Skiffs would make it basically drop shut. But I'm going to let them break in a little bit, and then when I get the other one back, maybe I'll put Skiffs in them. We'll see, but they're perfectly centered. There's really no reason to, other than maybe get a little more drop shut. So anyway, that's it, guys. Real quick, first impressions on two awesome knives I carried today. The Sharp by Design Mini Tempest and the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later. Yeah, you like that. You like that. I'm slick, bro. I'm slick. Hey, guys. Kev here, and I couldn't resist, so let's do a disassembly on the Sharp by Design Mini Tempest. So, shout out to Lewis, Addicted to Knives. Go check out his channel. He had his today at lunch, and he said he put skips in it, and it felt very good. So I wanted to get it hooked up. So he told me he used 5mm bearings, but I have heard people say these take the 3/16. So I do have a set of 3/16 Skiff rocket glides here. I'll try to link the set that I actually put in the knife. I always forget to do that, and people ask me what I use, and then I forget, and I have to watch the video. But you can always just, watch my video. So I have 3/16 skiffs. I have 5mm 1/16 skiffs. So basically, metric, standard, and they're a little bit different. I think 3/16 is slightly smaller than 5mm. Then I actually have a set of 3/16 Skiff multi-row. I've had these forever and never found a knife they fit in. I figured maybe somehow they'll fit. I doubt it. And then I have Delrins in 3/16, which I have 2 sets of. It's like a plastic cage with ceramic bearings. These are very good. Tie connector. I do like Skiffs better. And then I have 2 sets of Gillians, actually. So we have a few options here. I usually try to test out Gillians or whatever first to see if maybe they work really well, and then I don't have to basically waste Skiffs. So like my other drop point, it looks like this one has no Loctite in it, and it was holding well without it, which is odd because the one Bowie I had did have tons of Loctite. It was weird. And there's our clip screw. All right, that should be it, honestly. It's supposed to be very simple. Might need to wiggle it free. I think that's the only screws, yeah. Gonna be gentle with it. You can see it coming apart. Looks like there's a pin back there, which is pretty normal for this situation. I might need a pry just to make it a little easier, but I just don't want to mess anything up, obviously. It's coming apart there. It's not coming apart on this side. Sometimes you can use the blade to kind of wiggle it free, but I like to be careful with that. So I do have this plastic pry I got for my car trim that I like to use sometimes because it's plastic, obviously. I just like to hit it from different angles to be safe. I don't want to go crazy. You can see it's coming apart back here. It is apart, so let's see if I can spin it. That usually helps. Rotating it a little bit. There. Oh, we got past that, but that was not super beneficial. Jesus. Hope nothing. That was very loud. Hopefully we're good. Seems like it. So they also had the bearings facing out, which is interesting. Usually they should be facing in, but it doesn't really matter. We're probably going to replace them. So let me just get some alcohol we don't really need. And you'll see I did remember to get the disassembly mat out this time. I always forget. Just clean in wherever we can. Stop pin's pretty seated in there, so I'm just gonna leave it. I think we're good there. Here's your detent nub, in case you're curious. This is how his system works. Brian Nadeau, that is. This detent nub is what is used instead of a detent ball. And basically, the Holts have adopted it, I believe. I think some other people use it as well. I still don't know if you're supposed to put oil on it. So I might leave it dry. I might put a dot of KPL heavy on there. You know how it goes. Looks good. I have one idea. Let me see if this works. So somebody gave me a good idea. They said whenever they use different bearings, they flip the washers over so that it gives your new bearings a chance to work in their path. And they're not forced into the existing path, which basically made a lot of sense to me because, let's see, this one has markings on both sides, but this would be reversed, so yeah, it's gonna fall out. I need some oil. That's just to seat the washer. So you can see this has a ring around it there. Honestly, it has it on both sides, which is interesting, but this side is much lighter, so I'm hoping that's not a big deal. Now it won't fall out. That one can just sit back in because it's the side with the pivot, so it doesn't matter. They do use spinning pivots over at Riot, but that's okay. Let's clean our blade off. Take a look at that sucker. I did have the slightest bit of lock stick. I wouldn't even call it lock stick. I just call it like, I don't know what you'd call it because there's really only one word for it, and that's lock stick. But it was just a little bit of something catching. Not enough to even bug me, but it was there. I don't know if it's, you know, you see that little bit of machining. It's really hard to get you the angle. Right there. Might just be wearing in. And then we can look at the blade real quick. Standard stuff here. There's where your detent nub rolls or whatever. Doesn't need a ramp or anything. It's basically built into the nub. So the nub becomes a ramp. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but the way it, see how it's kind of pyramided up, and that helps it. It's pretty cool. Oh, 1150 and 1150. Got some epoxy there, I guess, for the scale, so that's cool. Okay, so let's see here. What do we want to try first? So let's just double check and see if 3/16 really is the size. Yeah, so this is where you get people telling you 3/16 is the size. It's really tight, guys. I would not recommend a 3/16 bearing on this. It's tight. And that's why you're going to have people who swap these to Skiffs or whatever, and they're going to say, oh, the action didn't get better, or Skiffs suck, or whatever. And I bet you they're using 3/16. I heard the same thing about the Lucas P. But if you use a 5mm, it will, hold on, I'm just trying to get the right set here. Two of them are a little newer looking, I think. Hard to tell which, though. Okay, I can feel that rolling. Not feeling anything. Yeah, they feel kind of seized up, to be honest. Yeah, I don't feel anything. This is the only one I feel rolling. And I actually just got these back. Not just, but I got them back from Gillian, who had himself checked them. I don't know. I think the balls just don't sit perfectly in those. These are going to be too big to fit in the pockets. Otherwise, I might try the 3/16 multi-rows just because it would be cool. But I doubt they're going to fit into the pocket. Yeah, they're huge. So, would be cool to try multi-rows at some point. I'm going to leave these other ones here because I got to put them back with the skiffs. So, let's just do this. I'm going to clean these in alcohol. Yeah, sorry, I forget what I was saying. I got off track there. But yep, I can feel these rolling. You got to be very gentle because what you're doing basically is squeezing the... Once you contact the cage, you're kind of making it where the ball can't rotate. So if you're going to try to roll them in your fingers like this, you have to kind of do it really softly. Yeah, I'm not feeling these rolling crazily either, but we'll see how it goes. So I got KPL Heavy, or sorry, Original here, guys. These are for the bearings. KnifePivotLube.com is awesome. Go check them out. You can use my code LeftyEDC at checkout for 10% off your order. There's a link down below as well, but Knife Pivot Lube is awesome. Highly recommend the Heavy for the detent ball. In this case, it's a nub, so it's a little different, but I'll show you what you do with it. Spin that a little. It's a new bottle, so it's really getting everywhere, which is unfortunate. You really just want a small amount like that. All right, so that is the original. And then I'm going to take the Heavy and just take a tiny, tiny little dot. Yep, you can see that. You probably can't see, honestly. That tiny little speck I put on the detent ball track. All right, so I'm going to put... I do need the stop pin to come out. Damn, it really doesn't want to, though. Damn, that was seated in there real nice. Which is good. Just hope it goes back in. Okay. So, put this on. Put our other bearing in. Spin it around a little bit. There, I moved that Heavy around a little bit, so that's good. Put it at 90 degrees-ish. We have that pin and a stop pin to contend with, so we have to be careful. See, yeah, that pin is already, hang on. The pin back here already wanted to start seating in, but I need to seat these in. There we go. So you can see, oh, I scratched it. You got seating here, seating, and there's the bearings, and that pivot looks to be through, which is good. Oh. Yeah, we look to be good. Okay. So I'm going to put the clip on. I love his pocket for the clip. You can see here, nice deep pocket. So you're not going to have any wiggle. because he only has one screw, which, you know, if you're going to have one screw, you want to make sure you have deep pockets or whatever for the clip. Did I zoom back out? No. Crap. Sorry, I hit the focus button. I tend to do that occasionally. Tighten that down a bit. All right, so Loctite. Unfortunately, I can't play with this tonight. Uh-oh. That was a little bit stuck. Let's see if we finally got this to seize up a little bit. Nope. Perfect. Just a little bit. I like it. I love that needle. It's so nice. All right, let's see how we do. Try not to close it down on my finger. All right. Centering is dead on. Let me tighten this clip. Yeah, the gap is pretty much gone. And then let's see how we are here. Feels good. No play, nothing. Oh yeah, that feels good. Now remember, I flipped the washers, so they need to wear in a pad. It's very smooth, guys. Oh yes, okay. And I tightened that down pretty far. I don't like to leave it loose if I don't have to. You know, like some people like to get it to where it's dropped shut. But this is pretty much down as far as it's going to go. And I can feel that detent nub still working a path on the blade a little bit. Because it is a new knife, obviously. I think that'll keep wearing in as we go. I don't really want to... Man, I might back off a little bit. Yeah, that feels damn it. Damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. Centering, dead on. Looks good back here. Yeah, those went in real nice. I might have put a couple marks on the pivot there. I think we're okay. You can see how it sits flush. I mean, it's really nice on both sides. I mean, it's a very easy process on this one, guys. It's just getting it apart, you know, because the tolerances are so good. And you have those pins, you know, the stop pin and then this pin. It's kind of like a Liang Ma. They both just do an excellent job. Just make sure that's good. Yep, detent nub feels great. All right, call that a success. So I might add this to the end of the first impressions I did earlier, which also included the Mini Beluga here. I don't think I want to take this guy apart, do I? I mean, it's not my knife, and it feels pretty good, honestly. And budget liner locks can be a super pain in the butt to put back together, so I'm not going to mess with that. But this was the other knife if you want to see it up close, because I'll probably do a full review on it, and I don't know if that'll be desktop or not. So here's a good view of this guy. Nice red GMascus. I think they did a great job on this. Lockup is fantastic. By the way, that little bit of lock stick or whatever was gone, so it was probably just some oil on the lock face. I love how they have the clip mounted, and this is what I was talking about, that screw. Look how deep that screw sits compared to the one above it or under it. See that? I don't know why that bugs me, but it does. Mini Beluga. And I was wrong, the centering is dead nuts, by the way. Really digging this one. Glad Brent sent it my way. Look at that GMascus. It's really nice. So, yeah. All right. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in as usual. I probably already said all the goodbyes earlier. So, I love y'all, and you have a great day. Peace.